This video is sponsored by Unity. Have your creative juices not been flowing recently? Have a case of game developer block? Basically writer's block, but for game dev. Do you need some inspiration for your next game or your current game, or just need something to lift your spirits up? Well, I can tell you that the Unity Asset Store is one of the best ways to generate new ideas and implement functionality quickly without breaking the bank. The Unity Asset Store has thousands of assets which you can browse and easily drag and drop into your game to use. This time around, they have something called the Inspiration Sale. Here we have 180 assets on sale from July 26, 8 a.m. PT to August 9th, 8 a.m. PT. You have 40% off a selection of different 3D models, environments, visual effects, and many other types of assets. And if you're still on the edge, you can use the coupon code INSPIRE2022 at checkout, and it'll give you 5% off if you spend over $100, 10% off if you spend $175, and 15% off if you spend over $250. So in this video, I'll be going over some of the assets that are on sale that I think are really cool and that can potentially get you started on your next game. The link for the asset store is in the description, which it is an affiliate link. So if you buy something through that link, it is of no extra cost to you, but it does help me out. So there's multiple ways to start a game. I like to just put stuff together and see kind of what happens. So let's say I go to a game generator online and it gives me an idea for a game. Let's say Japanese city. So already I have in my mind that I want this game to take place in a Japanese city. Now there's several ways to go about designing a game, but if you're just putting things together and prototyping, you can pull different assets from the store and put them together. In this case, we'll be using the Japanese Night City on sale for 40% off and dragging that into our game. This is an awesome asset that you can use to have a Japanese city in both day and night conditions. So let's open that in Unity and see how it looks. Looks pretty rad, but I feel like it's lacking something. A player. So let's go and implement a player. In the asset store, Unity luckily has a free asset called a third-person starter asset that you can easily drag onto any scene and have a third-person controller working seamlessly. So for example, here's the playground scene for the third-person controller, and you can see that it moves very well and smoothly. So we can just easily drag that into our Japanese city scene, and voila! We already have a game. Now it seems kind of weird to have this robot walking through a Japanese city, but luckily, Magica Cloth is also on sale for 40% off. This is more of a cloth simulation package than a character package, but it does come with a character that you can use, known as Unity-chan. And so this is a great package that allows you to simulate clothes, hair, meshes through simple components that you add onto your player. They have great documentation online. It's important to note that this works with built-in URP HDRP, but does not work with WebGL. And you do need to install the Unity job system and burst compiler, which they list on their installation documentation, for this to work properly. As you can see in Unity, they have a ton of examples that you can use, and each of them shows you how to implement the different features. And you can see what a difference it is when a character has this Magica Cloth package on versus when they don't. It adds a lot of life to the character, which is exactly what we need for our Japanese city game. So it's really easy to swap in a character with the Unity starter assets. All we have to do is disable the mesh of the previous character, drag in our current character, and then in the animator component attached to the third-person controller, we just replace it with the Unity-chan avatar. And it automatically maps the animations from the third-person controller to our new character. And so once we press play, now you can see we have Unity-chan running around a Japanese city with her hair flowing wildly as she runs, which is pretty awesome if you ask me how easy that was to put together. There is something that's annoying me though. The footsteps from the third-person asset aren't great. They sound very robotic and heavy, which is something that Unity-chan is not. So we can get the footsteps sound pack from the asset store, which is also on sale. Basically everything I'm showing you is on sale for 40% off. But this sound pack is super cool because it has a ton of different step sounds depending on the material that you're stepping on. And it has several variations of the step. It has a variation if you're walking, if you're running, if you're on grass, if you're on concrete, if you're on metal, if you're wearing armor. Super useful and at a great price. So in the third-person asset controller, they already have an array with different footsteps that's getting played as the character runs or walks, what we're gonna do is delete those audio clips. Then we can go to our footsteps folder. We can press Ctrl A to select all of them and then drag them into that footsteps array in the third-person controller inspector window. So once we press play, you'll see that now the steps sound much more like Unity-chan. But it's kind of lonely stepping all around this Japanese city. Usually there's people walking around or some other noises. Amazingly, the Dynamic City Ambience pack is also on sale, and this adds dynamic noise to your city depending on several properties. And this is really, really cool because you can combine a ton of different sounds of a city, construction, traffic, crowds, birds, and it'll blend seamlessly. And you can select how intense and the volume of each of these properties you want them to be. Once we import the package, we can easily add a city ambient mixer script to a game object, and then we can adjust the values as we see fit. Now let's see how our game is looking and sounding. Now that was pretty awesome. We basically made a game in a few minutes using assets from the store. And this way we can easily prototype new ideas and features and mechanics for our games so that we don't waste time implementing tedious details while someone has already gone through the work and more. Put it on the asset store so that you can use it in your game and easily make your vision come to life. Now you can definitely implement these features on your own, and there is a merit in doing so, but I do recommend visiting the asset store to see if there's an asset you may need before diving in deep and spend a ton of hours on crafting a system or model or environment that may already be on the store. Now there's two other assets I want to call attention to. The first one is the Home Designer Bundle. Now with this awesome asset, you can craft your own rooms and homes within this built-in editor in Unity and easily export it to an FBX model, which you can then use in your game. Now this is perfect if we wanted Unity-chan to walk into the buildings and be able to enter them and explore the rooms inside. They have a ton of furniture that you can already use, materials. They have a floor map editor so that you can easily create walls in any sort of shape that you'd like. You can make multi-story buildings, add windows, patios, doors, and more. It does support all of the render pipelines, but I had a little difficulty on the 2021.3 version with the Newtonsoft JSON serialization for saving the files, but upon further looking on their support forum, it seems that they're aware of this issue and are fixing it. But if you are having an issue, you can always use an earlier version of Unity, make your room, export it as an FBX, and then import it into your new Unity version. This is an amazing, amazing asset, and it really helps you save a lot of time crafting your own worlds. And finally, there's the Space Graphics Toolkit, which is on sale. And if you're doing anything in space, this is an asset you want to buy. There are tons and tons and tons of scenes available with different examples on cool space stuff. Now, I don't really know the physics behind it, but I can tell you that it is super impressive to see the nebula in front of you and be able to navigate around it and explore all of the different stars. It has the full source code included, all render pipelines are supported, it has dynamic level of detail, or LOD, which changes the quality depending on how far away you are from it to save performance, seamless planetary landing if you want to fly your spaceship from space into the planet, and dozens of other features. I definitely recommend picking this one up. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you'll consider buying some assets during this awesome inspiration sale. If you do, the link for that is in the description. It is an affiliate link, which helps me out at no cost to you. And thank you once again to Unity for sponsoring this video. I'd love to see what sort of creations you make with the asset store, so feel free to join our Discord and post your creations in the showcase channel. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my patrons for supporting me. I really appreciate all of the help. If you're interested, the link is in the description. I offer source code early access and exclusive content. And with that, I'd like to thank my new patrons. In the enthusiastic tier, we have Magica, Harris Hall, and the Lethal Kind. Thank you so much for all of your support. It is super appreciated. Be sure to check it out in the description, join our Discord, and subscribe. So thanks so much again, and I'll see you next time.